I apologize for being late on this next video, but this is a continuation to the last video I made of WWE Top 10 matches of 2014 that I felt could have been the match of the year, match of your candidates. Now, essentially what I did was I wrote down the rest of my picks on a sheet of paper so that I can remember what I'm going to say for my next match that I feel like was going to be the match of the year. And on the last video, I ended on my fourth match. So now I'll be starting with my fifth match of last year that I felt like could have been a match of the year. So nonetheless, let's get started. So first up at number 5, the fifth match that I felt like could have been a match of the year last year. Cesaro versus Sheamus at Night of Champions. This match was one of the best matches that I ever seen. Cesaro, as I've said before, is an uppercut machine. This man was uppercutting Sheamus so much it was ridiculous. I mean, oh my God. I just cannot. The athleticism that Cesaro has is absolutely amazing. And how Sheamus hit him with that bro kick out of nowhere was even better. That was one of the best matches that I've seen on the card at Night of Champions. The one thing about last year Night of Champions, it already had a lot of good matches. But this was just a really amazing match. For it to be a mid-card title match, you don't usually get the mid-card. But it's real good when you got mid-card title matches and they turn out to be really well like that, because sometimes they can overdo the actual championship match, and this match right here was incredible. I gotta say, give hands down to Cesaro. I even give credit to Sheamus for the win, how he just bro kicked him out of nowhere. But Cesaro worked his butt off, man. He worked his butt off, and he seems like he does it in almost every match. He's just incredible. And that's number 5 for me of last year. That was just an incredible match. I just cannot believe how good that match was in Night of Champions. I think if it had actually went longer, it could have been actually very well had been the match of the year. Okay, so number 6, I wrote on a sheet of paper, so that's why I keep looking back. Number 6. Well, of course, a lot of people can agree with me when I say this. I'm going to go with the Shield versus the Wyatt family at the Elimination Chamber. Now, I didn't pick this match because everybody else always talks about how this match was the match. It could have been a match of the year and how it was a really good match. No, I actually looked at this match and actually looked at and seeing how good people were really saying it was, and it really did interest me. I was pretty amazed by looking at this match. And by the way, if I have to make another video for the next part, I will if I have to. But this match was incredible. Both teams gave it their all. Honestly, I think the way how they did it, I wish the Shield would have won, but the Wyatt family ended up winning. It was a way to make them look strong, and that was a good way to build Bray Wyatt. But the only thing I don't understand is they've been doing all this stuff with Bray Wyatt, but he still hasn't won a championship. You think by now that when they were building Bray Wyatt like that, they could have gotten him to like winning something big, major. But he didn't win anything, and neither did Luke Harper and Eric Rowan. You would have thought that they would have been tag team champions or something like that, but they didn't even win the tag team titles. I mean, but it was just a really good match. I give it to both teams. You had Seth Rollins doing his thing. Luke Harper, this man is impressive. You already got Bray Wyatt, who was like the leader of the team. But Luke Harper is impressive. He just can do so many things that out of nowhere, and it's just amazing. And it was just a really good match. Honestly, I like the match. I still disagree when some people say that the Elimination Chamber last year was only like a 2-match show. I kind of disagree with that, because you got to at least, not saying that you have to, because it is what it is. I don't complain about people's opinions, but you gotta at least give the credit to the opener when Biggie Langston went against Jack Swagger for the IC title. You gotta at least give that credit. But everybody always say how it's always a 2-match show, and that's why some people always say that the Shield and Wyatt family match is overrated. But I think that it was a really good match. It could have very well had been the match of the year. But yeah. Next up at number 7, Dolph Ziggler versus The Miz for the Intercontinental Championship on Raw. Now, I'm not talking about when they faced each other, at SummerSlam and Night of Champions. I'm talking about right after Night of Champions. They went against each other on Raw. After The Miz had beaten Dolph Ziggler for the championship, they went against each other on Raw in a really, really good match. And Dolph Ziggler ended up winning the title back again. This is what I was saying about Dolph Ziggler. This man, they had him working to death last year. There were some times that I felt like Dolph Ziggler, and I know a lot of people can agree with me on this, he took way too many bumps. I mean, to see some of the bumps that Dolph Ziggler was taking last year was ridiculous. This man was working his butt off last year. And when he went against The Miz on Raw, I just loved that match. I felt like that match could have very well been the match of the year. And it's unusual for me sit here and talk about The Miz and the match as like a match of the year, but it was a good match. These guys, you can tell that they really have good chemistry together when they get on the ring together. And they can build that greatness in the ring, And I think that when they went against each other at Night of Champion, that could have been a match of the year if it didn't end the way it did. But this match was just good because The Miz came out as champion, then lost the title literally 24 hours after he won it. It was just crazy. It was a really good match. Hands down to Dolph Ziggler, the man who worked his butt off last year, took way too many bumps. Sometimes I felt like he was going to get a serious injury for some of the bumps they had him take last year. But it was an absolutely incredible match. You got to give it all the credit. And that will be number 7 in this list. Next up, at number 8. So at number 8, I only got 2 more matches left. Number 8, we got The Shield versus Evolution at Extreme Rules. This match was really good. A lot of people, if they look back in this match, they'll mostly give the credit to Orton and Triple H. Nobody would really give the credit to Batista, even though Batista did do some stuff in the match. I mean, for the most part, Batista was getting booed a lot last year when he came back, and we all knew the backstory behind that. Honestly, I got nothing against Daniel Bryan, but what was the point of sitting up there booing Batista just for Daniel Bryan to get injured? Just for, it was just crazy. You booed Batista because you wanted Daniel Bryan to Royal Rumble. Then he won a championship, got hurt. But, I just didn't understand that, why they were doing it. And then did the same thing this year, but he got injured again. So, and that's why they didn't have him win the Royal Rumble. They didn't want that to happen again. But it was just it was a good match between Evolution and The Shield. The Shield came out with the victory. I think when Seth Rollins did that thing from the balcony, that was probably the best part of the match. Of course, Roman Reigns went for the win when he hit the Superman punch and spear of Batista. But it was just a really good match. Honestly, I actually think a lot of people say this match was better than Payback. And in a way, I can kind of see why now they say it was better than their match at Payback. And it kind of was in a way. I give them really good credit in this match. It was pretty good. Yeah, the Shield came out to win. Okay, so at number 9. At number 9. It's gonna take me a while, guys. So, oh man, what is number 9? What is number 9? What is number? Oh, I see it. Okay, guys. So, I really did not want to do this, but I'm gonna have to make another video. Okay, this one is gonna be it. This is gonna be it. This is the last video that I'm gonna talk about this. 2 more matches and I'm done. All right, guys. See you soon.